What's up, guys? It's your girl, Angee Smallz. Welcome to a new episode of Latin Affiliated Entertainment. If you didn't recognize who's sitting here in the chair with me, I got a special guest. I got a J1. I got a veteran in the radio industry. I mean, just made so much waves and still continuing to do that. We're going to let you know all about it. Her name is Khoolaid.
Oh, stop it some more, Angee. I'm so excited. Okay, so it started with our phone call at Roscoe's, and you were so adorable, and you were lighting up my brother Damizza's life. You were lighting up my guy's life, and here I am.
Right.
From the phone to boom.
Yeah, go check out that episode with Damizza right here on this channel. You'll see a phone call that Damizza gets, FaceTime. It was this beautiful lady calling us on the show.
From Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Yeah.
Ordering a number 13 with succulent breast and a waffle for those Cali killers.
Dang, man. Yeah, we got to go hit that up too.
You got my good side. Now I'm going to get to watch this whole episode from this side. I like this side better. So you got my good side now. Now I'm going to be when I'm watching the episode, I'm going to be like, oh, Angee got me on the other side.
That's so funny because I have a good side too.
Do you? I'm learning all that. Like I'm learning from you. Like I'm here on this journey too, asking you a ton of questions. It's like a whole new world order out here. I tell everybody I'm Encino Man. Like I woke up 15 years later and I'm like, what the real is going on?
Man, yeah, and you came back with just a big, presence for sure.
Thank
I was going to
you.
say splash, but I don't know.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody for embracing me like that, and the fact that I could do that. I didn't know that was going to be what it was.
I can't believe you couldn't see that, because once I seen you back on the scene, I was like, what? Khoolaid? And it was just, you were right, on the heels of Damizza. And to me, she's like a female Damizza,
That's a huge compliment. I appreciate that, because that's one of the most special humans in the world.
For sure. And you guys had a hand in a lot of this history with hip hop.
Well, and and him, the stuff he was, I was caught up in my own little world, rallying for Latin hip hop, Chicano rap, and my own little mission and everything I believed in. And it's funny because he was always there supporting, even when people weren't, when hallways weren't supporting. He was my one of my day one supporters. And it would be so funny because we were doing all these big huge events, and like I didn't even realize, now that I look back, some of these powerhouses I was rocking and some of these legacy concerts that we were a part of, like how big in history and what that really did for a movement. And the funny part is, here I'm just this kid with my own agenda, excited because MB Riders are on Powerhouse, and here he's dealing with the politics of this whole, bringing Dre and Snoop back together and making sure, people are safe because we've got rival gangs when we're in Hawaii coming to the shows. It's like, it's crazy what that man carried through diplomatically. And you and I were talking about how people get burned out of the industry. I mean, it's really easy to do that. I know I was at one point. I know when I tapped out to raise the kids, I was tired. I was burned out. I was hurt from all the experiences and everything that I went through. All my big homies that have stayed in the game for this long, that didn't get that pause, that Encino Man 15-year pause, I'm like, I don't know how you guys are doing it still. So Damizza and I had that beauty, which is awesome because the story is the same in that we had that pause for a minute, and now we get to come back together with fresh eyes and hella motivation, like youngsters, in the new game.
Yeah, man, that is crazy. And Damizza, you guys are doing numbers, just like you guys never left.
Yeah, well, he's doing the numbers. I'm so proud of him for that. I think I'm doing more of, I love it, bringing people together and then making people realize their power, and maybe where there's certain holes or certain things they're missing in their business structure or things they're doing. I'm able to just kind of guide and put them with the right people, because I don't claim to know it, but I know that I know really good people from my journey. And it's like, how do I connect good people with good people to create magic? And I guess that would make me a producer, right? Like,
yeah.
I questioned when I was coming back, it's like, I'm not a singer. I'm not a rapper. what is my talent? What am I coming back out here to do? And then I realized the power of synergy and connecting people and, the creativity that it inspires for me on new projects and to help people see that. And that's a superhero power, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah, it for sure is. I mean, you're a staple in Latin hip hop. She's one of the first advocates for Latin hip hop since freaking the early 2000s. I mean,
90s. Yeah.
You guys
late 90s
for sure
but yeah, early 2000s was a heyday. Like, I've been joking with everybody that it's like I feel like I stepped back out into 2004 musically and everything, like watching like Angee V and her You're Not Down movement, and just seeing everything culturally and just as far as lifestyle. I feel like I bounced right back into 2004, almost like God was like, all right, it's time to step out and here's your soundtrack, homegirl.
Nice.
So
yeah, God is just like, for sure,
the universe, everything.
Yeah, like you didn't even skip a beat. And so I know we have some younger people, watching the show, and that's what this channel is about. We want to have people that are in the industry that, have helped pave the way for a lot of the people that are getting notoriety right now. The big rappers that are, making waves in Latino hip hop. I mean, this is a process that's been going on for freaking, like you just said.
Even before me, it's like we didn't start this. I mean, I look back to it sometimes, and I've been reflecting a lot musically on a lot of the stuff, and especially when I see like some of the heritage concerts like Bobby D's doing, and I watch, like, I admire him because of the way he brings authentic lifestyle to life. Like, he brings the real shit in every subculture, and he's so open to all the different subcultures. So I love what him and the Romos do, like on a live stage front. And I've been like reflecting on it all, and I was like, my early days, I was a huge Joey kid, TKA, George Lamont, that whole Boricua, New York, freestyle. So there's always obviously been something that's attracted me to the Latin culture and the movement of the music, because I've always pieced on that, even as a little B-girl who loved her Wu-Tang and her Common and all that stuff. I was always attracted to the Latino culture for whatever reason that was musically. And so, yeah, we had our, when I came in, I was geeked out when I started the radio show, because I had, my Mellow Man aces that taught me Spanish, more Spanish than I learned in 2 years of Spanish in school with Mentirosa. I had my Kid Frost, we had there were people out there doing it, like, way before all this. Our Spanish Fly, 18 with a Bullet, like, it was out there. The music was out there.
Ooh, that song, 18 with a Bullet. That used to be my jam.
They pulled the trigger and buzz. What's up, S.A. Daz? I love you, brother. So, yeah. So that being said, it was like, I went on, and people have heard this part of the story, but, there was just, people weren't playing it in the mainstream at the time when radio mattered, when radio was how we consumed and got our records. Mm-hmm. And now it's like there's such an outlet, because you get to listen to, do what you want, platform what you want. And I'm just loving what's going on musically. So I love that I get the credit for being such a huge part of it, but there was definitely a huge movement way before, when I was a fan, when I was fangirling it. So I love that I could be a part, though, of giving people a platform and a voice, especially, well, I don't want to just say here on the West Coast, because we did the same thing, my brother Casanova out in New York, and I did the same thing with the reggaeton scene. And I had the blessing of seeing all that come off the island here to the mainland, and, had Tego and Voltio take me to Via Kennedy and go to the projects where they were cutting the records. What? And I got to see that whole scene and movement launch and transform too. Wow. And be a part of that, because we syndicated a reggaeton show too early on, before all the Latin urban switches. And yeah, like, it's a lot, but I got to be a part of all of that with my boy JD Gonzalez, who was the head of programming for Univision. Like, we got to be on phone calls and hear those stations flip over, because you had the pop stations, the top 40 stations here in Los Angeles playing Daddy Yankee Gasolina. So of course Univision's gonna be like, whoa, we're not giving that market up, and everything flipped. But what never got its due place in hip hop was that that Mexican voice. Like I'm still waiting for that one to come in real hard. I think I know who it's going to be too. But
what do you mean?
I think I know which artist it's going to be to do it. So
the voice of
just that Mexican American rapper who cuts all the way through. Like I want that superstar.
Interesting.
I want that superstar. And there's two. There's one on the R&B tip that I feel like is going to rejuvenate and come back and kill it again and surprise everybody, because I can stand on there's nobody musically as talented as that man. And then there's a rapper I love.
I wish I could know who you're talking about.
I mean, one rhymes with one of the Avila brothers, and that's the musically talented one. I'll stand on that. I think that Bobby is the most talented musical artist, like as far as playing, as far as knowing music, and that's a journey I want to see pop off. And then, I mean, everybody knows I'm going loud for Rowdy Rax. Mm-hmm. I'm going loud, and I tell him all the time, boy, don't drop that ball. You lyrically, his flow. I mean, he's incredible to watch him in the studios. I was at a session the other night with him and the Coyotes, and just to watch, which they're dope. I love the Coyotes, amazing performers. I like what they're doing. I like what they're bringing in the mix. But Rowdy, dang, he dropped this verse, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, it's never going to end. And every part is dope. Like, yeah, he's hard.
Yeah, I have a little cameo in his music video for Lean Like a Cholo remix.
Look at you.
I mean, small. I'm very in the back. But, you know, yeah, I really do like Rowdy Rax. But what you were saying right now, too, you know, I really, that is exciting. That is exciting to know, like, there's so much talent that people are still, you know, being, discovered, or, you know, it's still coming, like, because it feels like, okay, we had a little wave again, but it's not over.
No, and there's so much. And then, like I told you, I'm sitting here, I'm rediscovering everything. You know, I've been listening to my Johnny Cash, Frank Sinatra, chilling my brain out for the last 15 years. So I'm just coming back on and being exposed and reignited by everything, and going in the circles, seeing who's who, seeing how what everybody's initiative is for people, and just for what they're going to give back to the universe. Because that part's important to me too. That part's really important to me. And I'm just mind blown. Like, I can't keep up. And it started with my 16-year-old son. We were in the car, and once I started getting kind of reactivated, he's like, Mom, your music's on hit. Like, you got to listen to what everybody's doing. He put a playlist on for me, and everybody started playing, and different people started playing. And so then now my of course, my algorithm has caught all my Latin hip hop stuff. So now daily things are popping up, and I'm like, oh my God. So like, I'm out here in the streets probably botching names sometimes, but it's like, I'm still going to ride hard, because there's such a cool new movement. And it's not just around the Latin rap too, which I love. It's also around like the rock. And I mean, like, are you kidding? I'm a huge fangirl of Nate No Face and him and Conejos project. Like, I can't wait for that. Like, I'm here for that. Like, I'm here for all aspects of the voice right now, because the voice is coming from different hurting communities. Yeah. And it's like, there's so many messages out there, and I just feel like it's a different era of like just healing. And I mean, maybe that's ignorant, but at least for me it is.
You know, I for sure, I think that ironically, you know, being in the decade that I'm in my 40s.
Go girl, 48 and proud. Hello.
We were just saying, like, you know, that's the decade. And I've said this before, that you literally, it's the decade where you learn to not give any F's.
Yep.
And, you know, the artists that are hitting right now, like Coyote, Conejo, they're near my age. Baby Bash is still relevant, you know, but they're really just continuing to evolve.
Well, and it's bridging the gap too, which I'm really excited to do. It's like, or be a part of, or watch do, because, you know, I'm not like, I'm coming out and doing this shoot. MC Magic like killed it with his new record. Like, I love that. And it's just everybody really working together, bringing that synergy of the younger generation and the OG generation. It's like the world is here for it now, like for the nostalgic sound. They want it, even on the West Coast. You know, it's not just Latin hip hop, just the West Coast in general. I'm loving what's happening in the streets. I'm loving what's happening with the unity as far as like the hoods. Everybody's dropping their beef and coming together and working together.
Musically,
it just feels so good. Like just to see it all. Like it. I feel like I'm back in '04, but in an era where people just want to do better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. It's such a great time right now. We have the world at our fingertips right now. Everyone can really just be front center and if people,
it's up to you.
Yeah, if people mess with it, they mess with it.
It's up to you. I mean, when Damizza and I sat down, what was it, like 4 or 5 months ago now, and we were just eating lunch, and we were like, what are we going to do? And I looked at him, and I was thinking, I knew I was in the same space of, he took care of, I don't know if you know his story or he shared this with you, but he took care of his grandma. He was dropped off with his grandma when he was a baby, and he took care of his grandma for the last 15 years because that's what he was called to do, and that's what he needed to do. And so when he sat with me from after his grandma passed, he's like, what do I do? And I'm looking at him like, dude, you're a freaking genius. What are you talking about? Just show up. And I watched him show up, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to take my own advice and just show up. And sometimes that's just what it's about, is just showing up and trusting the world and trusting how, especially if you've been a good person and you've treated people well and you've done things for people, that, the universe is going to want to open it back up to you.
Yeah. And your new podcast.
Yeah, the new podcast is awesome. My best friend Sarah, who
it's called
The Show Up Show. She's a trauma therapist and a widow, and I am a divorced single mom, and she's a single mother. And for years, we did a lot of crying together during the shutdown period of trying to figure out, how is my life like this? The broken to pieces era. We were there together, on the days that, are you okay? Are you sure? You need to get up. You need to get out of bed. Like, we were there during that time. And so when we wanted to come back out and explore the world, it was like we were thinking too much about what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. And then we were both just like, we have to just show up. And that word kept coming up, show up. So now life is just the show up show. Just show up.
It.
Yeah, show up.
For sure.
You'll figure it out.
And you've already got some episodes recorded.
We do some cool episodes. You gotta check them out. Homeboy, my first guest, which made my heart happy because he doesn't do a lot of podcasts and a lot of stuff like that. And I was so glad he came through. But my brother, Lil Rob, Mr. 1218.
Yeah, he doesn't, man.
No.
He does seem pretty.
He's a real one. Yeah,
pretty mysterious.
He is, and he's a real one. So I love him. So that meant so much that he was the first to sign the door for me. And of course, right behind him was MC Magic and Big D, who I love. And Big D's my number one killer, and I adore him. And Danny Trejo was my last one.
I saw the clips on your Instagram with
which
Danny.
Was super special. And I'm really excited about helping Danny and Mario and everybody with the legacy that Trejo deserves to have musically, and as far as him when he's not here with us and when we're not here. I just feel like that legacy is super important to us, and I have a ton of respect for everything him and Mario do in the community as far as recovery and people, and just the face he is for Chicanos and for lifestyle is so important that I want that king put on a pedestal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of my new ventures.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that you got to come through because, we're giving you guys a little preview of what's to come. But, there's going to be a lot of episodes coming out.
Yeah.
Is that going to be like your focus? Do you know? I mean, you're doing the show.
I'm doing the show, running with Danny and Mario on the music and brand side. Damizza and I have a really aggressive, cool project we're working on together. Oh, in October, we have the whole synergy.
Huge event.
Oh my God, it's going to be awesome.
Look at LatinAffiliated.vip. You can get tickets there.
Dope.
Through Well, I will for sure be there.
Yeah,
It's going
Brian
down.
Shafton. Like, do you know his background? Like, I idolize Brian Shafton. Like, he is amazing. I mean, Priority Record Days. He's a big icon as far as setting groundwork for the indie record game, period. He was a huge part of that, from Tech Nine to Too Short to E40. I mean, he helped really empower people to build their own brands and their own dynasties.
Nice.
He's really neat. And then he blew my mind too when he brought Steve Rifkin on, because that I grew up, Loud Records was that was my jam when I was a kid. If it wasn't loud, it wasn't cool. Like, Loud Records was the mainstay, and to know that I'm going to be on a panel with the OG like that.
Okay,
is
so
like,
you're
whoa.
on the panel. Okay, I need to get the updated
Yeah.
flyer.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew you were part of it.
I just hit Damizza with that one. Yeah, so it's going to be a neat one. And then Bootleg Kev, like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
I come out and to see what I love how that guy is so humble, and what he created. Like, he doesn't sit there and try and follow everybody else's format. He's created his own formats and his own paths, and he continues to do that. So I have so much respect. I told you, I'm a stalker. Like, there's certain people I've really stalked and been inspired by, just creatively. And Kev is one, Bobby D is one, watching the Romos work and recreate the whole promotional marketing game of street cons, of the shows and how that's all done on a business level. And, I'm watching anybody who I know in the future will empower other people and create opportunity for other people. And that's what turns me on. That's what drives me.
Yeah, no, I love that. And so for sure, you guys are going to be learning, what goes on behind the scenes, especially if you go to that event. So these people that she's dropping the names on, I mean, they're the movers and the shakers, they're the management behind the talent, and artists, obviously the rappers and the singers, everyone has like a job, there's the front, and then there's like the people in the back are moving the parts and stuff. So that's going to be a good event.
It's going to be awesome to bring the new school and the old school together. That's really, it's like, like I was talking to you earlier before we turned the mics on, and what I'm learning coming out into the new world and how it is if somebody sits there like they know the answer right now, they're so full of shit. Like,
right?
It's a whole new world order right now, and it's just about everybody coming together and figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and being fair, figuring out a fair way to, for talent to be compensated, and for, especially on the music side. It might seem a little more amplified to me because the music side is so shook up, and how artists and delivery, consumption, everything's so diluted. It's like, it's a trip.
Yeah. I feel like artists really do need, because a lot of creatives, they don't know the number side. They just want to do what they do and make art. And
you should be able to. And the thing too is, even a lot of the number side or the number side people or artists who do have the number side's not working for the artists right now. Like, the landscape needs to be redeveloped. It's not right. It's not, the way the consumption and payout right now is not fair. And we have to, what I'm excited about, like rolling with someone like Damizza, because he makes me really feel like, okay, this is possible. And the people he's bringing together, it's crazy.
Yeah. So what do you know about him and his record label with Conor McGregor?
Oh, that's a really cool deal. It's just Conor came in the business, and that's part of that synergy. And that's what we're talking about, is people coming together. And I love to see that happen. I'm like, are you kidding? Conor McGregor's way over there. He sees the value in our West Coast artists like Exhibit. He's picking up our OGs like Exhibit, Bone Thugs, and sees the value in the heritage of that. Yeah. And then you got people on that too that are working with that project like Bobby D and like Damizza. And then when you have all these people, Conor McGregor's team, Bobby D, Damizza, all these creatives coming together that are out of the norm, this is where the magic's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like this is the, yes, they might not have it perfected right now or this first time around, but that's where I'm waiting to watch the magic happen, is just real people coming together in the lanes of what they do and trying to, it's not easy to work with new people or work together. So I think maybe God put me here to talk everybody down off the bridge and be like, no, let's just be cool and understand everybody's trying to do the right thing.
Because
this is,
just playing devil's advocate, I don't know what Conor McGregor knows about the music industry.
But that might be a good thing.
That's why he needs.
But that might be a great thing, because the music industry doesn't know what it is now. So maybe if Conor McGregor's people bring in some of what they've done, on a marketing level and branding level for Conor, for some of these music artists, maybe that opens the bank for the music artists too.
Yeah.
And then also it's going to help the marketing companies and advertisers, because they're trying to figure out effectively how to reach people on some non-bullshit. How am I going to get people to see my brand? Mm-hmm. So, maybe this is more of a dissected commercial of brands being more in line with individual talents, and just being cut up more. I don't know what it is. And I don't think any of us know what it is, but I love when you have a Conor McGregor who is not from music, and you have a Bobby D who understands live and merch
or
like
even
nobody
from the
else.
States.
And then, right, exactly. Mm-hmm. Or then you have a Damizza coming in who might not have been in this world, but is seeing that world, being exposed to it from his world. And, this is where like the landscape, this synergy, I mean, that word, it's getting like such a buzzword for me. We're talking about buzzwords right now, but Damizza got like, I think synergy and the show up, we were on the same thing. I think the show up and synergy, it's the same thing. You got to show up for the synergy to happen.
Yeah.
So I think that's what had to happen. Like we had to show up together, and now the synergy is happening, and damn is all I can say.
It's really crazy to see, the moves that are happening, and a lot of people, they're not aware until like the stuff's posted on Instagram or whatever, mm-hmm. and then people are still kind of like when I saw that Greenback Records,
mm-hmm. an exhibit,
I'm like, what
Bone Thugs and Harmony,
and I never talked to Damizza about it, and I'm sure Damizza will talk about it at his event, right? I'm expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's consulting for a lot of companies now, and that's one of them. And again, it's neat because everybody is figuring out this new landscape, and I think when people come to the table and they're openly doing that and they're all understanding that we're all figuring this out, that's where we're going to come up with new ways of doing business, new ways of moving. It's so neat. It's just, it's unreal. It's an unreal, exciting time that I can't believe we're in the middle of.
No, I know. It's really crazy. Like, I think your show is really going to make waves with people because like you said, like you're not only going to have other interviews, you're also going to be talking about like navigating like trauma, right? Yeah.
And real life, those broken, that's originally what it was supposed to be for, was those broken open moments in life where, I was at a place where, and my kids had to watch me go through it, where it was so dark and so much crying, and I didn't think there was a way out of that. And everybody would say, you're going to get through this. You got to push through. You got to push through. And luckily I had a support group to do that. And luckily I had the financial means behind me to do that. And now I reflect, and it's like, I can't imagine if I didn't have certain aspects of that to push through, and how women or men get out of those situations when they don't have the financial means to, or like, how do we help people out of those dark places? And that was my initial motivation, and Sarah's initial motivation, to do the show up. And I want to, with all the excitement going on, I'm going to figure out a way to stay connected to that calling, because it's important. And I had to advocate for my son, who's a different learner, and I want other parents who might have kids that learn differently to know there's resources out there, and just navigating the real stuff, taking care of your parents as they get older. We're not prepared for this stuff and what it brings. So that was the initial. And then, dang, the Kayes called me back. My poor mom, baby, are you on your way home now? Are you okay? Where are you? My best friend, Sarah, she follows me. She's like, you're worse than following my teenage kids on, she follows me on Maps all night, wherever I'm at. She's like, are you at King Taco? Why are you at King Taco right now? I'm like, girl, I'm getting a taco with the homies. Kick back.
Hey, yeah, come to LA, guys.
Yeah.
Go visit King Taco. Yeah, I appreciate that, and I hope the audience appreciates this. You know, like this channel, we're not about like, you know, the cheeseman. You know, we are real people inside of this LA YouTube crazy entertainment world, and it's a small world. It's a small world down here.
It really is. And I'm learning that with you guys. And it's kind of fun to watch that, because it's like, it's like radio was, you know, we had our radio wars, like back in the days, radio stations, we'd be banging on each other, like pulling each other's posters down. And shoot, my first gig in Fresno, we lived in the same apartment building as the competitors next door. We'd put, and actually, you know who that was? I'm gonna put y'all on blast. J. Cruz and Just Incredible. Jigga Juice and J Noise is what they originally were. And straight out of their college radio show, they would come and sit on my college radio show. And we got the gig with Greg McAtack, who was one of the originators of K-Day. We got the gig in Fresno, the morning show gig. And my partner, Jeffro, your Guamanian soul brother, and I, we had to put together a morning show. And we had these two kids who would come sit in that loved radio, which were J. Cruz and Just Incredible,
wow.
But formerly Jigga Juice and J Noise. And they would come sit in on our show, and we brought them with us to Fresno. So when we moved to Fresno, we all literally had no money. We went and we stole the milk crates from the grocery store next door, and we had blow up mattresses on milk crates. That was what we were all sleeping on.
Wow.
And we'd have the radio station wars, like I started this out with, where we were putting notes on the competitor's door. We were banging on each other on the apartment doors, you know. So YouTube, I'm learning you guys are like that. And I was clowning and talking to somebody. It's straight the YouTube yarda here. Like, you guys go hard. I'm like, whoa.
I'm happy that my name, this channel,
it's not. Yeah.
Well, you know, it got pulled into some stuff, you know, before. You know, No Jumper has clipped out our stuff. You know, they've used like some of our clips with Lefty's video, and that to me was like kind of the first time I was like, oh shit, like, you know,
you're all up in the yard of that throwing heads.
And you know, as a woman, I'm like, you know, because
that's interesting.
You know,
because my new thing in life is that like I'm really comfortable. I was with the homeboy Slick Vic, cool cat. Yesterday we were at an event and we were talking, and I've gotten really used to, like, I enjoy being alone now, and I enjoy rolling alone. Like, I enjoy going to eat alone. Before I couldn't be alone, but after all this happened, my first part of my journey was to be okay being alone. And so now I'm going to events and I'm showing up alone. And he's like, Vic was like, nah, cool, you ain't showing up alone no more. And Big Mario, you know, is like, nah, cool, who's going with you? You're not going alone. And, you know, it's, as a woman, it is different for us. And
yeah, I'm always alone at these events.
Yeah.
I've been going alone for a while.
Yeah.
I actually did, you know, I did run into you at the Chicano Hollywood Elevate.
That was dope.
Conference. I actually did have a friend with me.
You did?
Yeah, I did. Who's a videographer, so that I've known for years. But you know, I show up so much stuff. I think a lot of people are used to.
You're everywhere.
People that know me.
I mean, even before when I was nerding out and watching everything, I was like, well, like you saw when D called or when I called D. And I saw you. I was like, "Oh, I know Angee," because it's like you've been doing it, babe.
I've been, you know, I've been in this, you know, popping my head up.
Yeah, during my Encino Man phase. But no, you've planted your seeds and marked your ground. Because when I came, I was like, "Oh, she knows who I am." Like that was one of those moments where it was like, "Oh, cool," because I knew you were. Well, no, I didn't. I was a stay-at-home mom who was taking care of my father. Like, I didn't know that Angee still knew who I was. I didn't know that the community still had love for me like this. I was afraid to come out that I was completely starting over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like, you have, you know, you were a staple back then, you know, and, you know, like a lot of people don't know that Latin Affiliated was a magazine, you know, in 07, 08, and, you know, but so now when I have guests like you on and they're like, you know, I think people were like, how did she get these people on her show? Well, it's because it's like industry contacts, you know.
Well, plus you're a badass, Angee. You know, you're out here doing it for the right reason. You glow.
Thank
like
you.
You glow.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
You're somebody people want to sit down with. At least good people.
You know, I try. I definitely want, you know, to be able to talk about, like I said, not just gossip, you know, like stuff that people could take something away from, you know, and
100%.
Especially if they're interested in the entertainment industry, because it's not all roses and gold over here. It's a struggle.
You know, just the other day with everything going on. I mean, I have such blessings right now. Like the projects that are falling into my lap and they're just falling into my lap. You know, they're coming to me.
That's amazing.
And they couldn't even be more aligned with my calling, who I am, what I want, the people I want to represent. And
that's amazing.
It's just a blessing.
Yeah, that is amazing. I love that. And I'm so happy that you see that, and like, because some people maybe wouldn't think about it, just feel they got lucky or something, you know. But I think if you do put in the work, opportunities, you know, will show up as well. And
yeah, it works out how it's supposed to work out. And again, if you're in that dark space right now, if that's where your life is, that's the chapter it's in, I promise you that it's only a chapter, and please push through, please get through, call who you have to. If you have nobody to call, hit me up. Like,
hit her up on her DMs and Instagram.
You see me, I'm always on the gram. And that's a trip too now, to see how people like communicate more on the gram than on the regular phone. Like even my friends, I'm like, what the hell? We're like, where are you? I'm downstairs. Okay.
It's kind of like going back to the Nextels where people did like the message.
Dude, stop it, the beep. You know who got me my first Nextel? Slow Pain and Nino Brown.
Oh, damn.
And it was Slow Pain, Nino Brown, and I were on a chain. And it was the worst thing I could have ever done. Rest in peace, Slow. I miss you so much. I wish you were here for this part of the journey of my life. And
R.I.P.
his daughter, love you. So I'd be in the grocery store, and him and Nino Brown would chirp in on the Nextel just talking shit. And remember, you couldn't control the Nextel. You couldn't control when it came in or out. So they would be just talking hella shit, and I'd be in the grocery store line or doing whatever. Yeah, the Nextel was the OG phone.
Hell yeah, because all I get is voice notes on my phone, you know? And like when we could very well pick up the phone and call each other.
Yeah.
We're sending each other voice notes.
Yeah.
You know?
Now you just got YBE and I both trying to call each other on... I think we both had we were trying to get a hold of each other the other day, and we both had our notifications turned off on Instagram on call, you know, the call me feature, so that it doesn't ring on us. So I'm like this old lady, he's trying to call me, and we couldn't get each other on the phone because both of us had our notifications turned off.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah.
That's another one, man.
Yeah.
I'm gunning for that one.
I could see
He's
that.
hard.
Wait.
YBE?
Oh, is he?
Oh, he's hard. Check for him.
I feel like I've definitely heard his name.
Yeah, he's dope.
Man, there's a lot of talent right now.
Mm-hmm.
A guy we just had, Trouble Kid. Do you know who Trouble Kid is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's why I feel like his time is also
Send me that
around the corner.
Send me that before you forget.
Yeah, for sure, I will. Trouble Kid. He does have a song with MC Magic.
Okay.
And I have a little clip, but I can't put it out yet because he was previewing the song downstairs here.
Oh, okay.
Last time when we shot. So that's coming, guys, though. But if you become a member, I might put it up on the member section. So go
ahead with all your insiders. Break me off. Yeah. Whoever, like I'm
talented.
open, like all the new music. Like I'm just rediscovering everybody. There was one kid I found that I'm loving, Payaso, out of, what is it? Is it Albuquerque? I think it's Albuquerque.
Oh, New Mexico.
Yeah. Oh, he's
because I swear we're in this Cali bubble, you know?
Not me.
Okay, that's
like
good.
my Cali, my Tex. I'm always checking for my Texas and. Oh, and I'm here for what about like Louis the Singer right now? The country movement him and Vega have going on. Like that's ridiculous. I'm ready for that Louis and Frankie J.
And he's got the looks.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's definitely making us watch like.
You think so? You think it's that?
I think to me.
I know, but I don't know that ghetto gangster Mexican country shit. That's got me vibing. I get what you're saying because you do look and you're like, hey.
He's always got his shirt off.
Oh,
right?
he does. He's cute. You're like you're making us both blush.
Okay, I'll listen to country.
Yeah, maybe I do like country, boo.
Yeah.
No, but I love just the authenticity of the stories he's telling. You know, just from that hood Mexican point of view. Like that's so hard. Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
Yeah, for sure, man. The entertainment industry is going crazy right now, especially with Latinos. But you know, I mean, we don't even need to be at the Grammys, right? You know. What are we, you know, we're kind of getting our own shine.
I want the People's Award. Mm-hmm. You know, it's about the people. I mean, that's cool though, but that's all cool. We can be at the Grammys. Let's go to the Grammys, guys. Let's dress up and go to the Grammys. Bullshit. Let's dress up and go to the Grammys.
Yeah, all right. We can go to the Grammys. Yeah. I just need an invitation.
Yeah,
so I've never gone. I'm trying to think. It's
uptight.
Yeah.
Well, it's set. Everything's so set up, and it's tight.
I love it that they do it in LA a lot though, because you always do know someone that probably could get you in. Yeah. You know, but I just have never taken advantage.
Okay, we're going to go to the Grammys.
Oh,
with all our Mexicans'
when
favorites.
Is it? February?
With all our favorites, man. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to be there. Like, I'm going to be there when Rowdy Rax gets his shit.
Oh,
Let's
damn.
Go.
That would be crazy.
You heard me, Ocho. That's another kid out there in the streets doing things. Ocho.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got an awesome ear, and I love how he's figuring out that, you know, there's youngsters figuring out the business portion too, which that I love to see. I'm loving being around all of this right now. Like, it's just such a blessing. I'm just soaking in everything, like such a little nerd right now. Yeah.
So you and Damizza are, you know, obviously helping out artists like As You Were, you know, have been doing for years. So you guys are talking about doing a new project together.
Yeah, we're working on some creative stuff we're aligning the right creative partners for it, but just a whole new world order for the music industry, and just
a whole new order. That's
for music and content creators, you know, for just the music content creation, just a better synergy.
So, okay, and you've been doing this, and let me give an example. You know, Concrete.
Oh, you know, my bro, and Nikki, his wife. That's my girl. Which she's neat because she's an amazing stay-at-home mother. I love her mom. She's gorgeous. Are you kidding? I actually met her before I had met Concrete. I met Concrete through her when she was a little girl, and I was street team at Kiss FM before my radio days. She was singing Selena covers at the schools, and I would go in, and her mom would be there, and I'd pump her up. I'd be introducing her and hosting those within the schools, and she told me she was going to marry a rapper, and she wanted me to go to her wedding. And I'm like, Nikki, don't marry a rapper. And that rapper was this guy, Beretta, who is now Concrete, who is one of the most genuine souls and greatest sons, husbands, and fathers, and friends, and just humans on the planet. And I admire him, because he really did help me. I'd text him and say, hey, what should Sarah and I get? What should we do? You know, and he'd always give me the advice. He'd always every month, he'd get my text put up with, you know, being like, okay, this is what you need to do, no matter how big he was getting, no matter what he was doing. Then finally he was like, cool, just come over here and let's get this rolling. And so him and Marty the manager, and my whole LRM team are
Shout out Marty.
Yeah. Are like,
Concrete hasn't been on this show, you know, yet. But he's got his own show now, I noticed.
Yeah, he's
doing his own podcast.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Yeah.
It's a different side of him.
Mm-hmm. He's neat. He's what I love about
multi-talented.
Oh yeah. I mean, his whole, and like I said, I meant what I said about him being a good father and a good son. And I mean, he helped his parents through their family business through years before he blew up, and did his rap thing, did the videography thing, shot videos for everybody.
A really
and
good videographer.
And anybody. I mean, and he hustled so hard and was there to make everybody else's dreams come to vision, mine included. And to see him be able to, I always knew, like, dude, you are really funny. And so to see him focus on himself and
hilarious.
Oh my God, and to see that unravel. But most of all, he continues through that to put other people on and to create platforms to encourage and bring other people with him. And he's a movement creator.
He really has.
And that's why he's so powerful. And that's why he's going to be such a huge icon for Mexican American entertainers, is because he is not just talent, but he's a movement creator.
Man, that's really great. I've never really spoke on him, or but putting it into words like that, he really has done a lot, and you see it, like.
And he's got funny friends like Jay Valentino.
Hey, go watch that episode.
And Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, I love Jerry.
Friends.
I love Jerry. So Jerry Garcia, he was on our first season. I call it our first season. But we had a little another different kind of concept called La Cena, and so it was like with dinner. But it's kind of hard to do a show when you're eating.
When you're eating. Yeah, I did that on a podcast.
But it was a good concept. We did like 10 shows, and so Jerry was on it. And I ran into him at the Chicano Hollywood elevator.
He's so cute.
And I go, Jerry, you got to come back, right? And he was like, you still feeding people?
Yeah, he's like Louis the Singer. He's a stud,
and I go,
man.
No, we're not feeding people anymore. He's like, oh, budget cuts, huh?
Yeah. That's funny.
He's so funny. And I'm like, yeah, Jerry. I'm like, yeah, but you got to come back on.
And then you got Duno out there doing it. Yeah, that whole camp is just sick. I'm just glad to be part of it.
Yeah, no, so many talented people that I'm so happy that I've got to kind of, meet, and then also talk to.
And then women out there, like to see you do it, and then to see my girl Letty and the brown bag. Like, I love my baby girl Letty, and to see what her and Vic and that whole camp is doing. Like,
yeah, they're really cool.
I adore that girl and her heart, and it makes me really proud to be part of this, to be part of the Yarda.
The YouTube Yarda. Yeah. I told her it was the YouTube streets, and she was like, no, it's the Yarda. Yeah. That's a Latino version. But yeah, these YouTube the calles out here.
Yeah, no joke.
We're all like kind of running into each other.
Yeah.
But I'm happy.
My no lames homies, they're funny. Like, I'm loving it all. I'm watching it all.
Yeah, I hit up that show because I saw them. I watched an episode, and they took the have you heard of the raw honey?
Yeah. Yeah.
they took it on the show with just guys. And so if you guys don't know, it's like a SEX like enhancer.
Oh, it is? Yes. I didn't know that. I missed that episode. So all I gotta do is eat raw honey?
So they took it live. Okay, hello. And it was such a weird...
Why didn't you save that episode for me, guys?
So you get to see them like start getting like...
In their feels? Yeah. Oh, okay, hello.
And I was shocked. And they actually like... took it like a champ. I mean, no pun intended. But I ended up hitting
some raw honey.
What's his name? The lead.
Oh, now you're gonna put me on blast.
I don't know his name.
Make you call people's names.
Okay,
out.
I don't know his name.
They're all leaders. Damn it! You guys are all leaders.
We follow each other on Instagram though. But I DM'd him and I said, much respect, man.
That was a good one
for doing that live. Yeah. With a bunch of men.
Yeah.
And playing
They're
it off.
Special men. I love when they talk about mental health.
Because they wanted to wrap that show up.
Yeah. When they talk about mental health, and they I love that. Yeah. I love that they really get into the feels of men. And Jay's doing that too. Valentino's doing that on his show too when it comes to love.
Yes. So Jay Valentino. Yeah. We had him on the show. He teased us with his. Actually, he didn't let me talk about it, and then he said that he had a new podcast. He told me off the air. He said, "Don't talk about it. It's we're not going to be airing it." And then like a week later, he freaking put out his next episode. I'm like.
Yeah.
What's
Our
up,
episode
Jay?
is nasty.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. So what kind of questions did he ask you?
Well, it was what we were asking each other. Like, It's deep. Like, yeah. We were talking about like when dudes ghost, or how dudes feel like right after they first like get it in and that like they want to go ghost. Like that's their first feeling. Like you just like
they're scared. They're scared to love.
You run. First feeling, whether you like a chick or not, it's like kind of is like to run.
You know, once I was sharing an experience that shocked me. One time, I was dating a very kind of like not well known, but like a B-list actor. Mm-hmm. He's really hot, right? Mm-hmm. And like we finally hooked up, mm-hmm. and he was the one blowing my phone up the next morning, and I was shocked. I was like, "Whoa, this is not normal."
Okay. Is he still, as my boy Mellow Mayonnaise says, is he still a plug with a hug?
You know, he could come get it anytime.
Oh, Angee, oh my God. And I'm just getting better from this cold. You bad, girl.
But you know that the acting industry his star isn't as high up anymore because of some of the shows that got canceled. Oh, okay. But that industry too is reinventing itself after all the shit. Yeah. But at the time he was like on TV.
Okay. Go, girl.
He's not on TV.
He was on TV and on My Girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he knows.
So who was it? No, I'm kidding. Girl, I ain't going to blast you like that. Don't bring it out. I'm not going to even let you go there.
But that was an experience because I was like, damn, guys usually don't.
Yeah. That awkwardness. I don't know if I'm ready for the dating scene. Like,
no, girl, you are not. The dating industry I've seen out here in LA is just like,
it's so weird. Finally, my girls, everybody was cheering me on. Just get out there. And I finally tried. I put myself out there once and it was the weirdest situation. And I'm like, okay, can I take it back? But then me being me, I'm like, okay, what was God's lesson in this? And I'm like, all right, after I've had to figure out what every emoji means in the book now and asking the kids, hey, what's this emoji mean? It's like ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's for the communication. It's ridiculous.
And just reading into every text and thinking like, because all the forms
I'm not ready for.
Okay, and so let me tell you something else about this. All these confusing messages. The other day, he looked at my
your stories,
TikTok story.
Okay,
when I haven't heard from him.
And you're like, why are you in my stories, boo?
It's so random. And we don't even follow each other on TikTok.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, he's like looking at my stories, but you can't send me a message
and say hello.
You know, like
maybe he's trying to edge out of a situation and he's trying to see what your situation is, boo. Maybe he's gonna see us here and be like, maybe I need to edge out this situation and edge back into that situation with my girl Ange.
And my girlfriend, who knows all my tea, right? She knows I interview people, and she's just like, hey, would you ever have him on your show?
That's what Jay's doing. Don't let Jay fool ladies. Don't let Jay Valentino fool you. All he's doing is it's an interview show to see. He's looking for his baby's mama. Yeah, he's looking for his baby's mama.
That's the casting couch.
Yeah, he's looking for a baby's mama.
So he had you on.
Yeah, but I'm no more babies. We already decided. Yeah, that's my road dog. I'm gonna beat chicks down for him.
All right.
Plus, that's Khan's best friend. That's my bro's best friend. So, like, you know.
Yeah.
And that's another one. Like, you got to figure out what can I, what should I, whose industry, who's not. Like, is it?
Oh, my God.
Because I want a creative. Like, no bullshit. Like, I need somebody creative. I want somebody creative, strong. I kind of like somebody with a motorcycle in their life.
Okay.
Kind of like.
So you would trust them and ride in the back with them?
At this stage of my life, I think so. Okay. I think so. I want a tough guy. Wouldn't even mind checking out a Samoan, maybe. I had, a little Samoan.
Damn.
Boy.
What about,
I love Pacific
you
Islanders.
must know Big Al then. Baby Bash's old bodyguard. I should have said his name.
Yeah,
he's a big Samoan guy.
But he lives in the Bay. Okay, you just called him out. Okay.
He's cute.
Yeah, Bash runs with those Pacific Islanders.
Yeah, he used to have a really big I think he's related to Angel from the Stewie Brothers.
I was gonna say, is he a Stewie? Like, is he one?
He's related.
My Stewies are my Angel, my Grim, and my that's my whole camp.
Anyways,
Bash would die. That would be Bash's worst nightmare if I hooked up with a Stewie.
Well,
Because, that was one of my first conversations, and I've had this on podcasts out the gate, is Bash was like, please, you cannot be a thought in the streets. You cannot go out like.
Oh, wow. He never had that conversation with me, but I'm glad that I never went there with any of his crew.
Well, he's not just his crew.
I had a lot of respect.
In general, I've got all my brothers out here. Like, I've got to make them proud.
Ooh.
I've got a lot of brothers out here.
Yeah, you have a lot of responsibility.
I do. I can't just.
And being a woman.
Come on, I'm 48. I was in my relationship for 28 years.
Yeah.
Since I was 19. So it's like, when do I get a chance to hoe out in my life and not think about it or not worry about it? I mean, come on. We all need that era, right?
Yeah, we sure do. So if you're single.
No, I'm not cut for it.
Hey,
I'm not cut for that life. I'm too sensitive. If you don't call me back, if you ghost me, I'll be crying like a teenage girl. Leave me alone. Everybody leave me alone. I'm focused on my career right now.
Yeah, no, it's tricky. And, I think I've also grown to just be used to just not having confidence in anybody.
See, that's sad. I want to bring our confidence in people back and each other. One of the things I love about going on podcasts is like that my phone is turned off, and I'm mentally stimulated again through conversation, and I felt like I couldn't talk or have conversations anymore. And I think that's part of what I love is that about the world of podcasting and this whole new era of delivery is talking.
You are made for podcasting. I mean, you were doing podcasting before this shit even blew up.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even realize that that's what we were doing when we were doing it.
Yeah, I was looking her up, and there's really some videos posted 10 years ago.
More.
On YouTube.
More. I mean, it was like the videos were like some of those videos were made before my kids were born, and my oldest is 16.
Yeah, you're just talking about Latin hip hop, and it's so dope to see
my
that.
partner was very tech savvy at the time, and he was always on that. And he was always on, even before people had the ability to be able to consume it, like they didn't have the money for the phones, or we were always a step ahead with that. So, that was definitely his part. He was very tech savvy.
Yeah. So, if you guys didn't know, now you know. She's one of the pioneers.
That trips me out when somebody said that to me. When somebody said that, I saw something once that people were arguing about, like, oh, well, Khoolaid was one of the first to podcast. And I'm thinking, I've never had a podcast. And then I was
didn't even know.
Wait a minute, I did. Like it was the original podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure were, and you're so good at it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. So I'm here just showing up and enjoying life. And it's a beautiful place to be in. Like, no expectations, just figuring out what moves me and excites me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's an amazing place to be in your life.
Yeah.
You have just all of your experience and so many great connections and people that can really make shit happen.
What about you? What's next for you? What's your ultimate dream?
I have a very short-sighted view of things. I've never had a 5-year plan. I've never even been able to fathom. Ultimately, I just want to be financially stable. And this podcast, so it is something I look forward to doing. Mm-hmm. And I'm not making mad money doing this, I mean, thankfully I got my YouTube monetization and have some products that are sponsored, but I don't really think beyond that. I honestly don't know. When I went to the Chicano Hollywood event, mm-hmm. and even my friend that I went, who's a videographer, he told me I should sign up to Actors Access or something, mm-hmm. and get into movies and stuff. And I literally had a conversation with him today, and I was like, I've never been much of an actress. I've never really tried to pursue
It's different. It's a different form, because that's probably one of the avenues I probably had the hardest time in, when I was transitioning to do that. It's way different than hosting, because hosting is about authenticity, naturally being yourself.
Yes.
And where acting, it's it's a skill set.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably, in entertainment, that's probably where I am the most uncomfortable. I love it. It's fun. I like to push myself to do it. But it's probably where I'm the most uncomfortable.
Yeah. And, when we were at the Elevate event, someone had said something. They go, well, I said, what do you do? What do you do? I have a YouTube show, which was all actors, right? Not like people from YouTube there.
Yeah.
Shout out Chicano Hollywood, man.
They're killing it.
They're tapped in.
I loved it.
They are really
I
supporting
loved what they were doing.
Latino Hollywood.
So inspiring.
But yeah, and that person was like, well, next, he goes, well, next is TV. And I was like, okay, maybe. Maybe.
What is TV now? It's like you and I talked about it. I don't watch TV anymore. I'm sitting there on my phone. The only thing I'll watch is 911 with my daughter.
Yeah,
when
I'm
she's
a
like,
YouTube whore.
Let's watch 911.
I don't even have cable right now.
Yeah.
I'm watching YouTube. That's what we were just talking about, how good our cameras are, because I'm always worried about how people are going to watch this YouTube show on like a full-blown TV. This is the new mainstream media. And I just interviewed Eva Mendes' brother, the big actress, her brother, Carlo Mendes. He's on our new episode. And he said something. He said, there's no more movie stars. There's no more, because there's so many platforms now that we can't, there's no like central focus of, we're going there. Okay, look, that's Tom Cruise. Now we're looking at, these other people that are huge to us. And everyone has this different genre that we like to watch. So, in a way, he's right. Like, the era of having superstars or movie stars is harder and harder to become.
Everything's so dissected. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's beauty too, because then there's so many more content creators, so much more content being made, so much more creativity.
Yes.
And that's beautiful. And, we're missing, sometimes I feel like I'm missing out on everything, because it's like, there's no way you can, your algorithm's going to hit you with what it hits you with. Like, sometimes I'm like, it's the same people. And I feel like that's all that's out there in the world. Like, in my head, that's all that's out there in the world, because that's who it's hitting me with next, and who to watch. And then I'll get out of that circle through whatever way. Like, I'll go look at somebody else's page that I'm like, hey, they haven't popped up for a while. Let me see what they're doing. And then that'll be brought up. But it's like so much, we're missing so much. You can't keep up with all of it.
No, there's so many options now.
Yeah.
But, we're thankful you guys are watching right now. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and we're going to be bringing you more industry people like this. And we hope that you guys like what we're, going over and giving you guys some insight of the entertainment industry.
I love the fact you're part of my journey. Thank you, baby.
Yes, of course. I didn't even get to my questions, but that's all good,
Is there any must asks?
Let me see.
I love it. It was natural. It was real.
Yeah, I mean.
Is there something that you so wanted to ask?
Let me see. But before we wrap up, and I just wanted to talk about, obviously we have a huge movement going on, and I think that a lot of our voices are being way more taken seriously, and there's so much creativity happening and talent, and man, I'm so thankful that I can have people like you on the show, and just help, because you're helping support our channel by being here, and now you're working on projects that you and Damizza, I'm sure, are going to really, really continue helping artists. So
that's what we're here for.
Yeah. So let me just ask you your thoughts on, like, P. Diddy being locked up. Like, do you think he's going to get out?
I mean, he might slide out the bars. He might slide himself out the bars. Whoa. Well, you know what? My boy Eric Schwartz, he did a song of how we felt about that. Guzzle House Records in the house. If you're not knowing Eric Schwartz, the comedian, we got Guzzle House Records. He's got all our P. Diddy thoughts in the new video he has out, so they can check for that. But
ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I am. There's a lot that hasn't even unraveled yet that we're going to hear about. I'm just glad that I'd never been to a party. Thank God. And thank God they didn't have social media back then, because some of my friends and my people, if I saw some of the, yeah, thank God we didn't have it like back then like we have it now.
Yeah, you're right. He's freaking, well, I was going to say he is lucky, but, at the same time, that's not saving him at all right now.
No.
But it would be way worse.
There's a lot. You're gonna hear a lot unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I agree. I don't believe he's gonna get out.
No.
Which, that's his karma. That's his doing, man.
Eric Schwartz said it. I thought I told you that we won't stop. Stop, homie.
He should have stopped while he was ahead. But I think justice. I'm not even talking about the freak offs, man. F the freak offs. That's not even what I'm talking about. And like, definitely, I empathize with Cassie Ventura.
Oh, that hurt so bad. That video hurt to watch.
For sure.
And that goes back to what we were talking about, women in situations, and yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, and my belief has always been too that he was involved in Tupac's.
Oh, I'm not. That's you. I'm not. Girl, you ain't getting me caught up in that young shit right there.
and Big.
Ooh, I ain't getting caught up in none.
So,
you guys, this really is tea. I ordered tea. I love the tea. No sugar added.
I should change the subject.
From Chick-fil-A. They got the good iced tea. You go ahead, drink my tea.
That's my opinion.
You go ahead.
That's my
drink my tea.
That's my opinion. And I never really share my thoughts on things, but yeah, I just feel that justice is being served in a few ways. It's definitely not just because of the parties he had. It's way beyond that. Things that he hasn't, that he won't, that will never really be he'll never be directly charged for, but this is just, you can't run from freaking karma.
I'm going to drink my tea and let the universe do its thing and continue to stand in authenticity and try and be a good human. Here we go.
So, yep, that's my thoughts. But that being said, there is a whole new, opportunity for artists to make history right now.
Yep.
We're rewriting history. I was telling Trouble Kid when he came on, because when you hear his music, he's right there with Rowdy Rax.
Dope. I'm gonna check it out.
He is, and all the people.
I'm gonna bump it when I get out of here. Are you kidding?
Yeah, he's got a song, TikTok dancing. I mean, and Little Bams,
That's my boy. That's my family.
Yeah. I love what he's dropping.
Yeah.
I messaged him the other day and I told him keep up with the good work.
Yeah.
And I felt like a Thea telling him that.
Yeah.
Because he was like, appreciate you, and I was like, keep up the good work.
I know. I'm all the time in people's DMs. Go, baby. Yeah, Hercules.
I'm like, he must look at me like I'm a Thea.
Yeah. We are, girl. That's the arrow, but I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it.
Hey, what's
either.
the youngest you date?
Me? Okay, I don't go beyond, now. I won't date, I like to stay in the 30s.
Okay, so 30s. You think 30s is acceptable for us?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of men are ready they're done playing games.
Okay.
I think past 35.
35, about 35 is the marker?
Under 35 is like you just gonna like see them for a minute,
Okay.
Because I had a 27-year-old guy trying to take me out the other day, and like he never even knew how old I was. I was like, dude, you stop, like just but I did go out and have a drink with them.
Okay.
And I ghosted him. I ghosted him after that.
God, Generation Ghost.
I did.
You guys are tough with this ghosting.
I did. I didn't know how
I'm not a ghoster.
I didn't know how to let him down.
I'm a connector.
And
okay. Is that what it is? People don't know how to let people down or how to have the conversations. We got to get better at that. We got to get better at having the conversations and not leaving people in the dark. Well,
let me tell you this. I didn't ghost
space.
them. Maybe what I did was probably even worse.
Oh.
I turned, I used a little thing and I made it a big thing.
Okay.
So when you do that, when somebody does that to you, you pretty much know, like, they're not into you because you're something small.
Yeah.
You blow up, like, and make it a big deal. So I did it that way, honestly.
Dating with Angee and Khoolaid.
Hey, I mean,
Don't take your advice from me. That's for damn sure.
no, I've been single way too long. But
Well, it's been amazing.
yeah.
And
oh my God. And look at your shoes, girl.
like 'em?
I've just seen these.
You like
Damn,
'em?
those things are
Shoe
dope.
game.
I love
Shoe
Adidas.
game. I'm out here with my shoe
I
game.
love Adidas.
I'm so the Adidas girl, man.
Yes.
I'm the poster child.
Yes.
So I'm out here. I'm loving life. Thank you for having me. And
Of
thank you for
course.
loving me and giving me all the energy and opening the universe up to me.
Yes, anytime. And we're going to see her in Hollywood in October. Go look up the event details. Her, Damizza, a bunch of radio people, Bootleg Kev.
Brian Shafton,
Yes.
Steve Rifkin, my girl Michelle S., who's a genius. It's going down.
Yeah, if you want to make it in the industry, you should definitely be at this event. I will be there. But yeah, go to LatinAffiliated.vip to the events page, and you'll see all the details there. And get yourself a ticket and come see us. Come see them. She's going to have a panel that's going to be fire.
Let's go.
You know, and go watch her. You'll see her Instagram handle on the screen, in the bio, and go make sure you check out her show, Show Up, which is really 90% of success,
Let's go, gang, gang.
10% synergy,
Yep.
or maybe 50-50. I don't know. Ask him.
Yeah.
He's the pro. at
Show
that.
up synergy. Yeah, I think it's 70% show up.
Yeah, show
70
up.
30.
Yeah, show up is a big one.
70 show up, 30 synergy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but show up.
For sure. All right, girl. Well,
Love
thank
you.
I love you too. I'll see you guys on the next one, guys. Peace out.